Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mr. Conger.
Good morning. Welcome to school. All right, we are driving an airplane. Are we driving or flying? Can you drive an airplane? You can drive it on the ground, right? All right, so we are in an airplane, and the airplane takes off from its runway and reaches an altitude of 300 feet at a distance of 400 feet from the point it left the ground. So this is pretty quick, right? Like we're talking immediately, because an airplane reaching an elevation of 300 feet, 400 feet from where it took off is going to be like a couple seconds, if that, into the flight, right? Right? Makes sense, considering airplanes go really fast. Okay. We want to know the angle of elevation. So at what angle is this plane elevating 400 feet after it takes the ground? So here's my runway. Blah, 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 blah. A little bumpy. Here's my airplane. And here are the airplane's wheels. Got it? The airplane is going to take off like an airplane does. Right? And we know that the airplane is going to, or we want to know the angle of elevation at 400 feet from where it took off. Right? Am I right on that? A distance of 400 feet from the point it left the ground. And how high is the airplane at where we want to calculate that distance? It's at 300 feet. Correct? We have formed a right angle. And you guys are certainly using trig, correct? And where would my angle of elevation be? Obviously, this is my right angle, so that's not going to be my angle of elevation. Would it be here, or would it be here? X or Y? X. Okay, so my angle of elevation is going to be from where it originated from the ground. So X degrees. So based on that right triangle, how are we going to calculate our angle of elevation? What is the math we're going to use? What is the math we're going to use? Charles, you know? You got it? What do you got? Okay, hold on. I'm going to write my SOHCAHTOA down because I always do. SOHCAHTOA. You want to use tangent, Charles?
Yeah.
Tangent of what?
X degrees
You want to use the tangent of x degrees
is equal
is equal to,
300 over 400.
opposite is 300, adjacent is 400. You guys cool with that?
Yep.
Okay, Charles, what are we going to do to calculate our answer now? Based on our knowledge.
Tan -1.
Tangent, whoa, that's an x. Tan of what? -1?
Divide tan by
Okay, let's take care of the 300 and 400. Let's turn that, I think it'd be easier to turn it into a decimal, right? Otherwise, what you're going to do is you're going to have 300 over 400 divided by tangent, and we got a fraction divided by a number, and that's just crazy. So let's just turn that into a number. So what is that number you want to turn it into, Charles?
7,500.
Let's turn it into 7,500. Does that look a little easier to work with?
Yeah.
Charles, now what?
Divide by 10.
We're going to divide by the tangent, because what do we want to do?
Get the variable alone.
We want to get the variable alone now. So when we do that, we have the variable alone now, which is what? X degrees, because this canceled out and this canceled out. And what's the problem with 0.75 divided by tangent?
Tan to the negative first power.
Yeah, we can't, tangent's not attached to anything. We're just taking 0.75 divided by tangent, and it does something on our calculator, but it's not right. So we want to rewrite this as x equals 0.75 times
Tan to the negative first.
and tangent to the negative first power. And again, I think you should understand that considering our knowledge of negative exponents. And the fact that we're actually moving it from the bottom of the denominator to the top of the denominator means we should have a negative exponent. And Charles, when you take that into your calculator, what do you get? And remember, we're using the second button for tangent of -1.
X is equal to 36 and 87/100 degrees.
And since we put the x on our degrees assigned on the x, we don't necessarily have to put it there, but we will anyways, just to be safe. And that would be how you calculate the angle of elevation of that airplane. Questions? Yes, sir.
You have to start the problem out as
Say again, I can't hear you.
you have to start the problem out as and with the x equals 300 over
How did you start it off?
x equals 75.
I would say you should start it off with 300 over 400 because it shows me that you know what you're doing. And the fact that you're using 300 for your opposite and your 400 for your adjacent. So I'm going to say yeah. Then I want you to convert it down into your decimal. Or convert it to your decimal. Good question. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have to write x degrees? Can you just write x?
You can. I just do x degrees because it's technically what I'm calculating is the degrees. So I would say you should, but I'm not going to count it wrong as long as you have a degree sign somewhere and prove to me that you understand you're calculating a degree measurement. Anything else?